Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of RLG Cast Reviews. Today we're talking about Fantastic Four, the new movie by Marvel that just came out, First Steps. I'm here with Putty, the Puttyman, and JD, the Donut Man. Their stuff will be in the description below. Make sure to check out their channels. And we're just going to jump right into this. We're going to have a spoiler-free talk. We'll give you our scores, and then we'll open up the floor to talk spoilers. Putty, you want to tell us what this movie's about?
Yes, this is the movie of the first family of Marvel, the Fantastic Four. They have actually made this movie four times. This will be the fourth time they've made this movie and series. I
Fourth.
actually had a fifth, no, fourth. I'm not counting the
That
Jessica Alba one
counts.
counts one. I'm counting Jessica Alba's one, not the two,
No,
because
okay,
two
you're
movies
counting
are,
Jessica Alba as one.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, I got the two, yeah, the same as far as
So
series. They
90s
made
Jessica Alba, fan four stick.
yeah, well, the Fan Four Stick, 90s Jessica Alba, the Roger
Yeah, the
Corman
90s
one.
one. Yeah,
Fan
Roger
Four
Corman.
Stick.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he already said that. And then, of course, this one. Basically, this is the introduction to the Fantastic Four finally in the MCU after they bought Fox. And in this movie, we actually get to witness one of the best villains in the world, which is Galactus. And, of course, some other things that we'll get into spoilers as well. But we get to see how the first family comes about and how they become, well, I guess, is part of the MCU, which we'll get into that once we get into spoiler
So
territory and everything. So.
let's start off with this. Before we started filming, we noticed Putty's popcorn bucket and we asked him to tell us about it. And then I realized, no, that's content. Save it for the video. Putty, tell us about the popcorn bucket because
Okay,
that is easily the nicest popcorn bucket I've ever seen in my life.
so here's what happened. I went to go see
I'm
Superman,
jealous.
the movie, and when I got there, I saw this popcorn bucket right here. Okay, and this one they had to sell there. They had the metal one, and then they had a bunch of Superman stuff, which
How
I didn't
much is
grab the
the
Superman
cost of
stuff.
that in American dollars?
For this one's
Yeah.
$35.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
now I'll get into this one in a second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
So that's
so
50
I asked
Canadian.
so I asked about this, okay? Because I said, wait, did you guys have the Galactus one? And they said, yeah, we sold out in 2 hours. These were like 50 of them they had. They had sold out in 2 hours. I go, holy crap. I said, you got, they said, but we should get some more the day the movie comes out, which they did. But here's what happened. So I get to the theater, and I actually live streamed this too, by the way. So if Campo's okay with it, I'll send the link so you guys can check out when I actually did this. But it doesn't show the actual purchase. So I get there and I'm doing my live stream, and I walk in and I don't see the bucket anywhere. But then I look, and behind the register is the bucket. And I zoom in. I'm like, oh my God, there's the bucket. Should I buy it? Should I buy it? Especially
Of
what the price
course you
was.
should. Look at that thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
Wow.
okay.
gorgeous.
So here's what happened. I go outside, I do my live stream, I end it because I've got to process my card and all that stuff on my phone. So I go inside, and one of the staff there that works at the front thing, she goes, "That's the last one. Go get it now." And I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I go to the register, and I'm behind other people, but
But
I'm
wait, did you
ahead.
have
Like
to
I'm,
sit in the movie holding that, or was this post
yes, I
movie?
did. Yeah, no, I had to sit in the movie
That
holding
thing's
this.
huge.
Okay,
Can you put it closer to
okay.
the camera? Can we see the scale of it?
We'll go in just a second. Okay,
Okay,
just let me
okay.
finish the story. Okay. So anyway, so what happens is I'm in line, and there's one guy in front of me, and there's like two people in the other line over here, two people in line here, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm the next one. This guy's taking a sweet time. And there's a gentleman that's a bald gentleman, that's a big muscular dude with four kids. He gets up
Oh,
to the
Putty
front
was
of the
ready to
line now.
fight him off.
Oh no, no, listen to what happened. He already got to the front of the line, and he points to the bucket and goes, "Is that for sale?" Because he was gonna buy it because he had four kids to feed. And he was like, "Is that for sale?" And they go, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'll take that." And I go, "Oh crap!" And he's like, "What?" I go, "I wanted to grab that. It's the last one." He goes, "Let him have it." He actually let me buy it and
That's a
everything. He gave it
guy
away to me.
right there.
Yeah.
So in
Props
return,
to
what I
that guy.
did was, oh well, let me tell you. In
Putty
return,
paid
what I
for his
did,
kids' popcorn.
well, I did, but I didn't, especially I didn't actually pay for it. So here's the thing. With I have a Cinemark membership, okay?
Yep.
And I've been saving up points, and I had 460. And one of the biggest things you can get, because movie tickets are like 350
Yeah, yeah.
for a free ticket. The biggest
For
one
us, they're a
is the
thousand. It's a
yeah.
thousand points for a ticket.
But anyway, they had a big bag of popcorn that I was going to take home one day if I ever needed it. And
Yep.
I was like, when he let me get this, I was like, okay, dude, you know what? And he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm feeding all your kids popcorn." He goes, "What do you mean?" And I showed him that bag, and I was able to get it for free for him by him scanning my code. And I just said, "Dude, take the popcorn. I appreciate you giving it."
Good for
And here's
you.
the greatest part. He even said to me, he said, "By the way, are you familiar with issue Fantastic Four this and this?" And I go, "Yeah, first appearance of Galactus." He goes, "Yeah, I own both of those comics." I'm like, "You're that big of a geek?" He goes, "I love it, but I have kids now. I understand it. I only wanted it just so I could feed my kids the popcorn. That's why he was going to get the
How
bucket."
many
And
cash money
inside
dollars was it?
this, ladies and gentlemen,
Look at the
This popcorn
size of
bucket.
it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Where's the
You could.
popcorn hole?
Holy.
Wow. Did they fill that up?
I did not. They give you a large popcorn on the side. I did not want them to put popcorn in. I did not want to damage it with any
No, but
glue
that's
strings like that.
huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
If there was a hole on the bottom, you could wear that as a hat.
Listen,
My head.
I'll
almost
tell you
fits
this
in it.
right now. 3 years ago, Putty, maybe 4 years ago, Putty would have loaded that thing with popcorn and he would have crushed that and got a refill.
Yep.
Okay, so the price.
Let's drop it. Oh,
Drum
it's
roll,
so
please.
beautiful. The way the eye's glowing right now.
$80.
American?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
Hold on.
This is the
I'm
last
doing the
bucket.
conversion
This
rate
is the
for the
la-
Canadian
Timmy,
people
Timmy,
watching.
Timmy. Timmy's already on it.
I already
It's
got it.
$109.
$109.
This is the last bucket I'm getting. I might get a Mortal Kombat one when that movie comes out.
Well,
Not a
listen.
price, but this has been my last bucket until I move to.
I
Vegas.
always think
My
you
last
have
bucket.
good buckets, and like we like to razz you and have a good time, but like that is like I don't even have a jokes for you. That's just
No.
so beautiful. Like
Dude,
we won't.
when I was
We'll
in
make
the-
fun of your
even-
score, but not of the bucket.
even the Mr.
Let's put it this way.
Fantastic in the background is really nice. That bucket.
Let's put it this way: when I got this, and I had the extra seat beside me, not there. I had to sit there. I several times, especially when I first saw Galactus on the screen, I grabbed this and held it in my hand like, oh, like I was a little kid because it's just so.
It's really pretty.
Like when I finally get my own place where I can decorate the background, this is going to be on the top shelf centerpiece, and then I'll have like the Deadpool's around it, helmets and
There you go,
everything.
yeah.
Like this is gonna be so beautiful
All
when
right.
it gets
So
on
wait,
the shelf. I
before
can't wait.
everybody hates us, let's talk about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
Go
thought
ahead.
it was okay. I thought it was generally well cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think the cast did good. I
And-
do have my issues with Pedro Pascal, and I'm gonna say this.
Would you say you have daddy issues with?
I do. So
God.
my brother happened to be talking to me while I was watching it and talking to me about Aquafina, and I realized, when's the last time you seen Aquafina? Right.
That movie with John Cena.
So, but
Jack,
listen,
the lottery
but
movie?
even if you count that, it was like a pretty big gap between movies for her because she was getting oversaturated. So she took a break, and then I started thinking in my head, because we do the wrestling podcasts. You can check it out on Johnny's
Mhm.
channel.
Link will be there.
Sometimes you need to go off TV.
Yeah.
I think it's time for Pedro Pascal to go off TV.
Yeah.
He's Roman Reignsing it right now, and
Mhm.
it's time to
He's
go
John
off.
Moxing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to go off TV, buddy.
He's Tanahashiing
It's
it.
not even that his performance was bad. It's just we're so oversaturated
It's too
with
much.
him,
Mhm.
and he doesn't ever give a different performance.
It's
It's
Pedro Pascal.
always the same. He'll read it in a cadence of what you're asking from the director, but he can't change playing Pedro Pascal.
He's Joel from Last of
But
Us. He's
I
like
think and this is funny because it's masked up, but I think his biggest range is him being deadpan in The Mandalorian.
yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny though, I still think as far as picking someone for Reed Richards, I still think he's good. It's just
I don't
because
think he's
Pascal's
bad choice, and I
no.
don't think he gives a bad performance.
I
just think,
still like David Tennant as Reed Richards. That would have been great.
I agree.
Yeah.
It just, for me, the problem that you have now is he's so oversaturated. We're seeing him in everything, and it's like I'm just always getting the same performance. Is he a good actor? Absolutely. I defended him going into this, but now you got season 2 of that show, and then he's in all those. He was in like 7 little movies this year, like indie movies where he had roles. Freaky Tales is a really good one. You guys should check out Freaky Tales. They tell a side story about a basketball player called Sleepy. Fuck, I forgot his name, and I bought his actual autograph card. I have it in my binder.
Nice.
But yeah, I think he just needs to go away for a bit, and it's not anything. Sleepy
Give us
Floyd
a
is
bit
his
of a
name.
break. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to go off. Anyways, I thought the acting was pretty solid. Vanessa Kirby was a good choice, but
Yeah,
at the same
I-
time,
yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of moments where she kind of just overacted, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I did think that I can't remember their names. If you want to look it up for me, The Thing, the guy who played The Thing was amazing.
Ethan Moss, Backrack. Ethan Moss,
Bachman.
Bachman. Sorry, Bachman.
He is the
Backrack,
best part
yeah.
of this whole movie.
The guy from The Bear.
Wait, really?
He
Isn't that the guy
gives-
from The Bear?
No,
No.
I think so. Maybe. Anyways,
Yeah, it is the guy from The Bear. And our boy from Diablo 4, Lorath,
Yeah,
is the voice
so
of Galactus.
Eben Moss is the only one that's not visibly on screen. he gives the most profoundly emotional performance
Yeah.
I,
of all of them by a long shot, and it's all done through CGI. Some of it is not very good.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought Joseph Quinn was pretty good. He understood the role
yes.
of
Yeah. What the way they portrayed Johnny Storm on in the commercials is not how he is in the movie.
no, but
I actually liked him in the
I
movie.
think in the movie
Yeah.
he's far closer to the comic book than the other
Hmm.
movies have given us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Because they always want to make him some wild case like that, like Johnny Blaze from
yeah,
Ghost Rider. You know what I
and
mean? It's
like
not
I said,
him.
there I have my small issues with the acting. Um, but I think the chemistry between the cast was pretty solid. Julia Garner, I at first I really liked her as Silver Surfer, as the female Silver Surfer. I can't remember her
Shalabal.
name, Shella Ball. But as the movie kind of went on, the stiffness that they were requiring from her to give, she's too good of an actor. It would be like having Robert De Niro or like in his prime, I'm just making an example, come in and be like, "Oh, just play this robot and don't do anything." And it like I said, it started off strong and it kind of just deteriorated. I don't like the general motivations of this movie. I think anyone on Earth, and I'm not going to give spoilers now, we'll get to it, would have made the decision that they should have made in the beginning.
Joe
That
Pesci as Galactus?
would be amazing. But to save everybody,
What do you mean I gotta eat the planet?
I think anybody would have easily come to the conclusion that if we have to save everybody, we should just do this.
Yeah.
Um,
The was it the thing of
no,
one
no, save it,
outweighs
save it.
the needs of one outweigh the needs of many.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just saying that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and okay, it's good, and I think Putty pointed out a really good thing, which is very rare for Putty. Um, and I noticed this. I had this issue because I think of the recent movies I've watched, the new Jurassic Park movie, which isn't very good.
No.
It's probably one of the worst. But the CGI is phenomenal. It's crazy how good they look. Like insane, insane, insane.
Yeah.
And then Superman, I really like the use of the camera angles to offset a lot of the CGI, like how
I
they
know a lot
film
of
them
people are
close.
making fun of the Superman dirt pie though.
But I don't care about the dirt bike. I think that the cartoonishness of that lended itself to it, but I still think the CGI was quite strong. Here, Putty pointed out there's a cartoonishness to the CGI, and
Yeah.
I think I have to go pretty opposite here and say that there's only very few moments in this movie where I really enjoyed the CGI. Galactus I thought looked really good,
Hmm.
but that home planet looked like shit.
Yeah.
I thought Silver Surfer looked really good, but I think all of the scenes where Johnny Storm was half lit looked really bad. And I want to just say something about physics. How is Johnny Storm on fire standing 1 inch away from Reed Richards and he's made of rubber and he's not melting? Not to mention a normal human at
Yeah.
that close range to fire would have been
Okay,
hot.
okay, okay. So I'm gonna stomp you right there. I find it funny that's the part that you would get confused about. So let me go back and say this.
You know what I'm
Okay,
talking
I'll
about
tell
when
you.
they're in the lab
No,
and
no,
Johnny
no, no,
half
no.
lights up when the
Stop, stop,
power
stop.
goes out?
When he's like
Just
this with the
listen to what I'm
hand
saying.
lighting
You're,
the
you're not listening to what I'm saying. It's the exact same scene, but you're looking at the rubber part, and I'll get to that in just a second. I'll come back to it, okay? But anyway, so here's my thing with the CGI. First off, I actually did like Galactic Planet. The parts that made me really notice it, which one of them I'll say later, because it's part of spoilers. But there's one point where, and everyone knows there's a baby involved, where Ben Grimm is holding the baby on that couch,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
could
yeah.
tell
Yeah.
the baby is levitating so horribly badly.
even
And then one point,
Oh
and
my
then one
God.
point,
even
well,
the
and there's one
opening
more.
scene. The opening
No,
scene.
no, no.
No,
There's
no,
a
no, no.
point where they
Let me.
film the baby moving and
Yeah.
it looks like Flash.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go back to that. That's the part that was going to start. That's going to spoil it. But there's a few, and when I say it, you'll notice it. Another part when Ben Grimm is talking to that girl, he looks so stiff the way he's like moving. Like I
Yeah.
know he's rock.
And you want
And
to know
then
something? I thought the chemistry between them was so good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Natasha Lyonne and him in that
So
Yeah.
one scene was like perfect. That's to
so
me, you guys are gonna hate me for this. That's my favorite scene of the whole movie. I thought that scene
so
was so excellent.
But even like you
Except,
said, the
hold on,
emotion
wait.
that he shows.
I don't want to cut off Putty, except that all the kids all the way down the street can hear everything they're talking about. Well, how did that happen?
yeah. But I
Oh,
want to tell
sorry.
you more. There's more things we're going to go back into
Oh,
that when
continue.
the spoilers. But then the last thing I want to talk about is this. You're talking about Johnny Storm with his rubber. You don't remember in that scene, he's right beside Mr. Reed, and what's on the wall? papers. Why are the papers not catching on fire
Yeah,
when he's
how is the
standing right
floor?
there?
There's carpet. The
Like,
whole floor is carpet. How is the
well,
floor
not
not
even just the
catching on
core.
fire?
He's literally standing there. Remember, he's standing there and he's like looking at papers because he was the one
He's
sitting on the
reading
thing, and
them.
he's
But
actually
listen, it's the
like,
general
how are those
thought.
not
I
coming out?
agree with you, Putty. It's a general thought process that you're doing this. Like maybe he made everything flame retardant because he is the smartest man alive.
Mhm.
Dos Equis. But it's the way that Johnny just is on fire. So like, if there's a fire flaming as hot as he would be, your desk would melt. Your
Mhm.
skin would melt. Everything around you would melt. The floor would melt. The ceiling would melt.
Yeah,
Even
it's like
concrete.
it's
And
like the
those,
scene. Oh, take the
He
scene from
burns
Wolverine and
crazy.
Deadpool when he lights up. All his ropes and
And
bandage
okay,
like
like
bindings
I get
burn.
it. You built the clothes for him that maybe they don't burn because that's also weird. How does the flames come through the fire retardant clothes? If the clothes are fire retardant, your flame should stay inside of the clothes.
Yeah,
I hate to say this, but you know what's funny? The Fantastic Four movie that had Jessica Alba and all in it, they actually explained it a lot better in this one. They said because it's the clothes they wore in space when their abilities came, so it's attached to their abilities, so it works with
Which is
their abilities.
fair,
Because
but
Yeah.
they
and that
and I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, these are the reasons I don't like
yeah.
this movie,"
Not
because it's
nitpick, but
not.
yeah.
I there's another thing that Putty said. He said that this movie was really fun, and I didn't feel that way.
No,
I do think I'm not saying that it's a
I think
bad
so
movie.
far.
That's not what I'm saying. But I'll explain my point. I do think, especially once you find out what's happening when they meet Galactus, that it becomes a very serious melodramatic movie, and it lost all of its fun. And I didn't need it to be fun. And I'm not really going
no.
to take that much points away for that. But I do feel like it wasn't a generally fun movie where Superman was like a good experience. But I understand you didn't want to make dark Fan Four Stick and you didn't want to make light Jessica Alba Fantastic Four. So you had to land
So you're
somewhere in
trying
the
to find a
middle.
middle ground.
But
Yeah,
see, but what I'm referring to as fun, for example, it's little things like when they were fighting a certain character
Yeah.
and they all had to work together in
Yeah.
order to
The comedy
continue to
was
push
good.
that character.
I do
But what I'm
think
saying is
I think when the
there was
comedy hit, it hit, Putty.
yeah, but when the parts were fun, they were fun. That's what I'm
Did
saying.
anybody
Like
catch Paul Walter Hauser as Mole Man?
so
yeah,
I thought we were gonna save
yeah.
that for spoilers because it's
Nah,
not
that's just
really
a little
revealed.
glipper. Okay,
Okay, so here's the thing. I
before
wanted
we
more of
talk, hold
him.
on. I think we should wrap this up. So, Putty, give me your closing statements and give me a score.
I actually really enjoyed it. I'm going to actually give it an 8 out of 10. I had fun with this movie and everything. So
On your channel, you gave it a
CGI.
9,
Yeah, but that's a Putty score.
No,
We
no.
know
I
that.
said, I said, I said, I
four and a
said.
half stars.
No, I said 4.5 would be a 9. I give it 4 stars.
Yeah. Either way, we know
Yeah,
Putty has his own scoring system on his own thing.
yeah. 7-3.
Wow, me too. 7-3. I think it's.
I like Superman just a little bit better.
I do too. And I do think both of them are kind of biased ratings because I really just wanted a good Fantastic Four movie and
Yeah,
I just wanted a good
I
Superman
think
movie.
I think what
I don't
tried
like
to
either of these characters. I don't
what
read
I
any of
tried
these
to not
comics.
let my thing is like, yes, this is one of the better Marvel movies in a long time, but it's
Thunderbolts was
no
really good.
right. But I'm just saying this is nowhere. They still got
This
a
is how I
long
thought
way
of
to
it.
go.
I gave
Yeah,
Thunderbolts a 7.9, so I can't really go.
yeah,
I can't be up there with that. But I
yeah.
appreciate Putty liking it a lot. I don't think it was a bad movie.
Well,
No, it's
I think
watchable.
I was surprised twice. Right? It was better than my personal expectations were, but it was also lower than what I thought I was
What
gonna
the hype
get
was
in
going
a
to be.
sense.
Yeah,
all I
Um,
know is I'm just hoping going forward that because the thing is I've always dreamed of MCU and DCU compete with each other. We might be on that path now, or we might be
no,
on the path of like
yeah,
a
let's do
good
it.
I
humorous
think
fun.
superhero movies are done.
Yeah, they're dying, but Batman will always sell, so that's
Yeah.
always good. Spider-Man will always sell. Let's open up this floor to spoilers. That was it. We're spoilering now. Um,
So
tell
can I
us
go
about the
into
end credits. Can you tell us about the end credits?
well before I go into the end credits, I want to bring up two things. One, there was actually apparently the scene with what's her name and Ben Grimm. They deleted a lot of her scenes to make sure it wasn't expanded.
You can tell. You can
Okay, that
tell.
third act felt like it was chopped up.
Yeah,
You
and
can
another
tell right away because he has those moments where he goes to like see her and like she acknowledges him, but then they don't talk. And I was like, something definitely happened here, and they
Yeah.
cut it out of the movie.
But the director also said one other thing had to get cut, and because they had to cut one part of it that was crucial, they had to take out all his scenes. John Malkovich had a character, and they took
Yeah,
all
they
of it
cut
out.
out John Malkovich completely.
He's
Did he
completely out
play
of it.
John Malkovich?
He,
Well,
he
no,
was playing John Malkovich. Yeah.
John Malkovich playing
yeah,
being
exactly.
John Malkovich.
But
Malkovich.
anyway, okay. So in the mid-credit scene, this was leaked online, so it already happens.
Wait, can I
Okay,
tell you
like
something? Someone made a list of movies that were disappointing, and they put John Malkovich being John Malkovich on it, and they put the reasoning why is because it wasn't a good documentary, and it's like it's not a
It's not a
documentary about John
documentary.
Malkovich. Okay, sorry, buddy, go.
that's stupid. Okay, so the mid-credit scene is the one that everyone wanted to see. Okay, it was leaked online. It is true. You see, so basically, you see Sue Storm reading to Franklin. It was 4 years later, by the way. Okay, and she's reading to Franklin, and Franklin says, "I want to read the other book." So Herbie and her go to another room to find the book that he loves. Then they return back to the room to see Franklin looking at somebody in a chair. And they're like, what's going on? And as you zoom in towards the chair, you see the red cloak and then you see the mask to the side. And it's Doctor Doom. And
Red
then they just
Cloak.
cut it. No, I said green cloak.
You
Oh,
said
okay.
red, but
You said Red
yeah,
Cloak.
it's okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
anyway.
why for a second I was like, it's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking
but,
too.
but they don't show actual the actor. They just show the back of
Yeah.
the cloak and then the mask on the side. So and Franklin's talking to him, which we knew this was going to happen. People don't know he's going to use Franklin to rebuild the universe. That's pretty much what the idea is out
Mhm.
there, and that's why that's how they're going to reboot the multiverse and everything. They're
Then
going to make
R.I.P.
a
to
multiverse.
Julian McMahon, who was the Doctor Doom in the.
Yeah. And then the last one, your guys aren't going to care about. They actually show the intro to the Fantastic Four cartoon that they were advertising that he says it's clobbering time, and there's a song and everything that goes for it that's catchy and it looks like an old like 60s
Yeah,
like
that's fun.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And that's it. Those
I
are
Kind
I
of like
used
the Guardians disco dance with
I
David
used to
Hasselhoff.
dabble with that a lot. I don't know if it was the 60s ones. I know the Spider-Man cartoons were the 60s, but I used to go to my
Yeah.
grandmother's house a lot in Mississauga. Shout out to Grandma Jenny, R.I.P. And we would go to Blockbuster and I would rent all the old cartoons. So
I think
Fantastic
the
Four,
Fantastic Four was
Aquaman.
the 70s, if
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
they
mistaken.
were, I believe. It was like I would rent Aquaman, like Super Friends, stuff like that,
so
and like so I've dabbled in that. So I appreciate the aesthetics of this movie, the
Yeah.
50s feel. I love all of that.
In a way, too, it feels like a soft reboot for the MCU.
And I'm okay
well,
with
that's what they're trying
everything
to do.
that happened. Like I told you,
Yeah.
there's just like a lot of the problem with this movie isn't it as a whole movie. It's actually a well-made movie. I can little nitpick at it forever. And where I could easily point to you and say Superman has this problem,
Yeah.
I have to look under the covers, but I can give you 7 problems with Fantastic Four. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit more like you have to really be
Well,
paying attention to stuff. And I think Putty did make a really good call on that CGI because there's times, man, where there's like smoke on the screen and it looks so fake. And I was just like, what is happening,
The
man?
opening scene where he's moving through the rafters.
Why would the
well,
screens in Times Square look like 1970s TVs in the 1950s?
okay, well, I can because again, he
I don't
made a
need you to
huge
explain
existence.
it. I'm just
Well, no,
yelling.
I
I'm
know. But
doing
anyway,
old man rant.
I want to say this. A lot of people worried about Mr. Fantastic and the stretchability because it always is going to look weird. And you know what? Honestly, the way they did it, I feel like it's better than any other
Oh, it
time
was
they've ever
great.
done it.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the funny thing. I find it funny
I
that's
think
the one
Thing
thing.
looked. I think the body of the Thing was
Is
the
the best it's
best
looked.
we've
Yeah.
ever seen. The problem is his movement sometime was so
Yes.
cartoony. Like
Shout out to the
That's
Thing's
exactly.
rock
and
beard.
Putty said it with the baby. I noticed multiple times, even without the baby, where his arms would move like as if it was done by AI, and they would just go like something really weird all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and nobody caught on to that was happening. I don't. When you guys go back watch it, you'll see his arms just go like this out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But like, I really like the brickwork they did in Fan Four Stick. I thought the way he was structured in Fan Four Stick looked really
Yeah.
nice. I liked in this one how he had the beard and he was trying to shave, and they lose
Yeah.
the power, and then he had to grow the goatee.
Which
That's
at
why I
the same
said
time,
shout out to the Thing's rock beard.
but
I
I
liked it.
thought in the comic book it took him like decades to turn him to grow the beard. I thought I couldn't grow the beard that fast.
Well,
Different
it's-
universe.
It's different universe, multiverse.
Okay. Anyway,
Do it.
This
But,
is
JD,
here's-
show
Earth
us.
because
okay.
it is. They
Oh.
even mentioned that this is a different. This is
JD,
not
you
the
have
same
to say it
Yeah.
and do the hands.
multiverse.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why it's called the 828 It's in honor of Jack
Yeah.
Kirby. That's why the 828. But anyway,
Yeah, this is the
Um,
Shout out to Jack
828.
Kirby. I got my Eternals number 1, 9.6. Jack
But-
Kirby. I got a Jack Kirby number
How
1.
how are you enjoying the price spike on that Oscar Piastri rookie card?
I
Aren't you
wish
glad
I
I
bought
told
all
you?
of them. I wish
Aren't
I
you
bought
glad I
all
told
of
you
them.
to buy
Mine's
that?
OC. Mine's OC, and it's $2.99. It's not that special.
But
Okay.
still,
Sorry, Putty.
Anyway, no, it's fine. But going back, I want to bring up one other thing that we're not bringing up since we're in the Easter egg part. I was excited, but I didn't write it down because it went by too fast. How were you excited about those like quick nods to all the other enemies that they've done in the past? Like
I
they were
liked
like
it.
before even the cops got involved and were taking down those enemies.
yeah.
Remember they were talking about it with
I think the problem
apes?
with that opening scene wasn't even like the montaginess of it. It was the exposition-y of the
What
things.
I liked was the
that
way
happened.
they told the origin story without taking too much time.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
need another origin story.
But if you're gonna tell me the origin story, and this is where I think Superman did a good job. You told me without telling me. Do you know what I mean? Because we know
Yeah.
subliminally. This movie, like I said, it shows you those clips and you get it. It's building up. You have a feel good moment. You're feeling good. You're loving it. You're watching it. But I think it's too exposition-y. The news guy cast being like, well, the Fantastic Four.
Mark
It's like
Gatiss.
it's too much. I'm already know what's happening. You don't need
Yeah.
to tell me. And that's WWE-ish. I can see two guys fighting. There's two guys fighting in the ring. Yeah, no shit. One of them's a girl. Yeah, I can see her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The hand holding.
Yeah, it felt very handholdy, and I feel like Marvel's getting too. They're losing their Putty fan base to gain a new fan base. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that hurts you. And I say Putty because Putty's way more of a Marvel guy. I mean, JD's kind of a Marvel guy. I'm very little a Marvel guy in terms of comic
I've
books.
always been.
yeah.
JD's more of a split. See,
I'm a Superman guy.
We're pretty even. I'm a DC guy.
He's there.
He's a Marvel guy, and you're a split
There he
guy.
is.
Well, see,
I'm a
but see,
Superman
it's
guy.
I don't like Superman.
See, I'm a Superman guy.
Once we get this
Spider-Man.
video done, I'll have to show you right over here. I actually have more DC comics in there on Marvel.
No, but
I
you
like
are a
Marvel
Marvel
better.
guy. It's not about
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
You're the Marvel guy. I'm the DC guy. He's the split guy. And you guys have way more comic book knowledge than I do. Most of my comic book knowledge comes from the modern era, like New 52, Marvel Now, and beyond. I do obviously know what happens before, but I mean, I don't have much else to say about this movie. Do you guys want anything talk about anything specific before we shut it down?
I got everything. I'm down. I got everything.
Yeah,
I
me
can think
too.
of.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you guys thought in the comments, and get ready for the next one.